What's going on, everyone? I hope you are doing well. Thanks for coming to my channel. We're going to try to look at the week of astrology here for the week ahead. My name is Henry Harrison. Thank you for finding my channel. If this is the first time you found it, I appreciate you liking my videos, subscribing to my channel. If you like my video, go ahead and subscribe if you would. And welcome. So before I do anything else, I'd like to thank God, who gives wisdom and understanding that we can look into this mystery to the glory of his name. In Jesus' name, amen. So we're going to take a look at the week ahead here. Here's the chart of this moment. It's this moon in Sagittarius. It's not, I think the most noticeable thing about this moon is that it's averse to Venus. So there's really no contact of the moon and Venus. It's making it a very dry, not very fun moment exactly. All day it's kind of felt drained out. I was thinking otherwise, because since we have Jupiter in his domicile and both the luminaries in Jupiter-ruled signs, I thought it'd be pretty good. But really, it was Monday was kind of the best day out of this week. It was very, very sublime, and it felt good. Where I was, it was pretty warm and nice outside too. So, a pretty good time. But with the moon in Sag here, averse to Venus, it's really not fun. There's really no enjoyment. It's very dry. But all the abundance of things is there with the good Jupiter arrangement. But definitely kind of empty. So we're going to look at the chart. I might re-record this, perhaps. I feel like I'm doing pretty well. I like this chart that I'm using now because the moon is in the best alignment it's going to be for the rest of the week, really, with the planet Mercury. So we can probably at least kind of talk about what's going to come up. But yeah, I really like that Scorpio moon. It was really good for me. Monday and Monday night were good, really. I mean, there were definitely some more difficult moments, or kind of more difficult topics, because the moon was aspecting the bad planets too, right? But there were some really deep moments there. I really liked that. So on Sunday here, we're coming off of this Capricorn Moon, and I think this Capricorn Moon will be overall more enjoyable than the past couple of days have been. This Thursday chart, I don't really see much going on well with it. It's interesting that Venus is aligning with Neptune, but the moon isn't aligning with Venus. The moon is aligning with Venus, moon's expositor, so it's just a very serious mood, I think, that kind of carries us through here. I'm going back to Thursday because we have this Saturn influence that comes into the picture from Thursday onward as the moon moves into Capricorn. But Sunday, I think, with the moon, at least in America, it will be void in the morning, so there won't be much of a really much going on, I think, or just be kind of hopefully kind of an enjoyable Sunday morning with the moon being with Venus. Probably the better time was on Saturday with the moon enclosed by benefics on Saturday, so it really does seem to turn around, at least in some respect. But to really move on, Sunday the moon is in Aquarius and applying to Mercury. So we have a moon that isn't really being aspected as soon as it enters Aquarius. So it really does look like a kind of a thing to be endured, right, with the moon having to meet with these the Saturn placement, and coming off of the Mars-Pluto stuff. So, we're definitely thinking about a lot of heavy topics throughout this time. And that, just will be more heavy, I guess, throughout Sunday. The moon, it won't be visible to Venus either, so or Jupiter. So since the moon will be only making an aspect to Mercury, who's pretty close to Saturn, I just expect our mind and attention to be really taken up by the business at hand. Okay. But I don't know. I'm not sure really what we end up doing on Sunday. Because the moon is on a square to Uranus, it has a sense of doing something different, a unconventional way of going about things, or outright support from God, seeking the support of God and doing what you have to do. In terms of society, we're also alienated and in our own digital fake worlds, right? And I think we're really caught up in that on Sunday, or I don't know. That's not really all I can think about it. Nothing's really going on at all on Sunday. But as we go into Monday, the moon is applying to Mercury and Saturn all day. So really applying to Mercury, even though it's not fun, I think we can really be connected to like sharing information and like doing the types of business that we want to do. Seeing that Mercury is moving forward, we can use this time to move ahead with our I don't know, for me it's like literally what I'm doing every day, but like for anyone else, this kind of looks like a coming to terms moment, really, because if we have the moon being void of course off of Saturn, this like kind of seems like a heavier conversation or like a meeting that is having to do with like the structure and perhaps the lack of community or like lack of society. Really, like, not a lot of light there, but we just had the new moon last month in this place, so perhaps we're really revisiting what took place last month. I feel like perhaps there's a sense of things being resolved or being like really fully resolved with the Mercury type situations. Seeing that Mercury's had a shadow, and probably like this could be like a conversation or like a time of coming to terms with kind of like checking off all the boxes that need to get checked off that kind of we had to step away from for a while. So that's kind of all I see with that one. So it's definitely very heavy though. The moon is void of course before the moon goes into Pisces in the afternoon. So Tuesday morning doesn't really have anything really supporting the moon or like having like a good feeling about ourselves, about what we're doing. So I think it does all work out, but there's like a sense of limitation or lack that we go through at that time. But as we go through Tuesday with the moon in Pisces, probably there's a better sense of abundance and enjoyment, like a sense that we are able to have everything that we need, everything that we want, really, and have a good time. The moon isn't directly applying to Venus until Thursday, but the moon is at least like aspecting Jupiter and Venus by sign, so I would expect things start to feel a bit lighter overall. And I think next week, or after this part of the week, things do become a bit more enjoyable, or at least they seem like they would, seeing that Venus and Mars will be changing signs, so which will change the dynamic of the moon as well, when we get to talking about that. Okay, but I like seeing the moon in Pisces. The thing about it is that there really is no light on the moon, so there really isn't a sense, or not nearly as much of a sense, of the moon making a contact. It's very dark and reserved and more contemplative. I think, with this new moon here on Jupiter, and Mercury being just connected to Saturn there too, it's like a sense of having to fall back on hope and a reliance on faith to see us through. It's I think a good time where we start to regain some faith here. If maybe this moon through the Saturn ruled signs was more of a time of sensing restrictions, sensing the limitations and the rules that we have to be with. Continuing on, so we have this new moon on Wednesday. There's really just no light. And even if I can't really understand too well about what this new moon is, it definitely has a significant alignment here with the moon on Neptune and Mars on Pluto. Let's look at the chart for the new moon. It's 11:34. I'm glad I'm trying to make this video now, because it really is helping me understand how much I know. So the new moon, I feel like I've definitely been thinking about this chart for a while. I don't really know what to think about it. It aligns all these disparate elements, and then the moon aligns with Neptune, well, Jupiter and then Neptune, really. So I think there is a sense of hope. There's a sense of breaking through down the wall, like the Venus Mars on Pluto at the end of Capricorn. It's kind of like if the Capricorn and Aquarius is like the structure of the castle, and then the surrounding fiefdom, maybe, if this is a very medieval example, the society outside of the gate, where people have their building outside of the castle. There's that periphery of Capricorn Aquarius is really getting activated there. So I'm hoping this is a sense of breaking down the wall in a way that is helpful. But I think it does. This is a time, we're going into this next month of this year, where we have Mars and Venus in Aquarius, where Venus will be in a tightening alignment with Saturn and Mars. So if there's a sense that things aren't fun, I mean, there's a reason for that. It's because things really aren't fun right now, and we have to go through this next time until things will be fun again, when Venus and Jupiter are in Pisces. There will be a sense of flow and good times for sure, for everybody, for the most part. So there is a line at the end of the tunnel, and maybe that's what the new moon is telling us. But it is, to me, very hard to understand how all of these things come to mean something. And we're definitely feeling something about that with the moon on Neptune in the midst there. So Wednesday into Thursday, the moon is in Pisces with this new moon. So really, I guess, putting your attention on what's really there, being grateful for what you have, definitely is advisable. So on Thursday, the moon is just moving through the rest of Pisces. The moon is building in light and will be making a sextile to Venus, so there is like a glimmer of hope here. It feels good. Feels good. So the moon really throughout Thursday, I don't understand really what it would mean for the moon to align to all three of those planets. I really don't. So, but I think in general, since it's just the moon and like in terms of like on Thursday, what it'll feel like, probably not too bad. Probably feels better compared to the all the Saturn stuff for sure. So as the moon goes into Aries, we have the Sun Jupiter cazimi. So Jupiter's in the heart of the Sun. Jupiter gains from that. Jupiter is bona fide. So Jupiter is actually doing really well. It's just there's a whole other side of things that are very restricted and are not at all kind of what Jupiter has going on. So probably seems very like sublime, I would imagine, but the moon isn't really saying anything about that. The moon is testifying to these things that are happening in Aquarius with Saturn and Mercury. So on Saturday, there's really a sense of taking charge and taking action that really has a lot to do with the structure and how we're communicating about things, if you will. And the Sun is there with Jupiter. I don't know. I mean, it seems like a good time to have a conversation like throughout Saturday. Probably a good time to commune. Hopefully, if you can get with the people that you want to be around. I think there is definitely a sense of limitation with society throughout all of this week, and that really continues to build. So we need to talk about the Mars and Venus going into Aquarius, because this is the really the big moment where things really change. So let's think about it in terms of the moon. Let's just like kind of go ahead, because I really want to consider that more than anything, because I want to know, like, in a lot of ways it won't feel good, it'll be bad, but in other ways I think it'll just be a little bit different, especially in the beginning part when Venus and Mars aren't too close to Saturn. So, we have these moons in Taurus, which are going to be activated by Venus here. So the moon will immediately make a square to Venus during the Taurus moon. So it will be a very dynamic moment, probably enjoyable, but like I don't know exactly what to think about that, because the moon will be around this exalted degree, square to Venus. Venus is moving ahead of Mars, and Mars isn't exactly catching up yet. So there's a sense of, I think, easiness and freedom that come about, but probably not too lasting. But I kind of like next week, because the moon still is making aspects to Jupiter and Venus, and this Cancer moon probably won't be very much fun. Neither this Virgo moon. And then the testimony of whether or not things are enjoyable, life is feeling good. Venus really like has seeing how the transits of the moon to Venus really are indicative of the sense that life is like worth pursuing. It has a sense of intrinsic joy, like to be embodied. That really is consideration of Venus, right? So, and this Sagittarius moon really brought that out for me. I'd seen it in the chart before, of course, but it really was kind of stark. So, you know, we have these moons here. Like the Scorpio moon will actually probably be pretty enjoyable, even though like the testimony becomes very mixed with the moon aspecting everything in Aquarius there. But as we get into the Sagittarius moon, you know, we have all these contacts to Jupiter and Venus. So because Jupiter and Venus are going to be averse to each other, now the moon, I think, will be able to receive more of both of those going through the next month. But it's definitely, look how hemmed in the planet Venus becomes by next Pisces moon, which will be averse to Venus again. So there's next month there will be this particularly unenjoyable Pisces moon, and probably we become, well, not as unenjoyable maybe as this. I don't know. It is kind of like mixed throughout, because I mean the moon will be with the planet and will be you know, suffering together. But okay, just a little bit to really consider that Pisces new moon, because I haven't really been able to understand much about it. Alright, so I hope you all are well. Maybe I'll release this video. I hope it served you. I will hear from you when I do. Thank you for listening to my video. Thank you for watching my channel. I do appreciate it very much, whoever you are. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for everything.